gentlemen, welcome to the Phalynx Podcast, episode number 2. Obviously it's been a while since we properly recorded, but we think we got a pretty solid schedule down on how we want to do this / record it, or the frequency of that type of stuff. So we'll discuss kind of what our schedule is planning for later dates. I am currently here today, joined by MrTeacherGuy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
So, at the time of us recording this, it is currently Father's Day. And we want to go ahead and make a mention about all the fathers that actually give a fuck about their child and stuff like that. Massive thanks to all of you.
Special shout out to my dad for hooking it up with tuition this summer, so I don't have more debt. Fuck yeah, great graduation present, Dad.
Yay!
I'll fucking take that shit, Jesus.
Fucking easily, dude. Now, the
God,
reason why...
master's programs are expensive, man. Fuck. I mean, it does add 10 grand a year to your paycheck on average, but, you know.
What? How much does that typically cost anyway?
It's $1,350 a unit, and I think my whole program was 36 to 40 units, something like that.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's a fuckload of money.
More money than I don't have. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not like. A lot of it's not forgivable loans.
Right.
So, you know, there's that too. Now, granted, I was smart. I took loans that are forgivable, but the interest rate's higher.
Right, but at least they have a chance of being forgivable.
Right, and with the current political office that's, you know, in place right now, there's a good chance that a lot of that might just be, you know, lawed out of existence, which that would be so nice. They're talking about a education loan forgiveness bill that'll forgive 50 G's of loans.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that would be a huge thing for me, because then I'd only have about like 15, 20 grand to pay back, because I got a lot of it in grants. So.
Oh, okay.
Grants are awesome. You don't have to pay those back.
Yeah, or at least that's what I've heard.
No, you don't. The only ones you have to pay back are teach grants if you decide not to go teach in like a low income school, but like 90% of the schools in LA are low income, so
yeah.
You know, basically whatever I'm teaching, I can get that fucking shit approved. Also, if I work for a charter, which is where I want to work, because charters give you more leeway. Education's a... well, what I mean by more leeway is they give you more leeway in, like, how you can teach.
Oh, okay. So you can teach the way that you wanted to teach. And as you were talking about with the HoloLens, and when you did the whole showcase for it.
Right, yeah. You guys can go check that out on my YouTube channel. And I think it's on the Twitch, too. But link will be below. And, like, there's that. There's, like... VR stuff, there's augmented reality, there's like all this stuff that's going to be coming into classrooms and being a lot more readily available, especially once the HoloLens 2 comes out of development phase. Like, they're going to go down in price. I know if any educators are looking at this, the HoloLens, man, y'all are missing out. Get on that shit. It's amazing.
Well, to be fair, typical HoloLenses are like several grand, which some teachers don't have.
$3,500. Yes, but that's what grants are for.
Money.
That's what grants are for. Technology grants are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. If you want a tech grant, hit up Microsoft. Be like, hey, I want to develop XYZ for your HoloLens for education. They will throw money at you right now. The HoloLens, the reason it costs $3,500, you get $500 in free development cost with Microsoft.
Right. You get a bunch of like...
right now. Like, you can call up a development team and be like, hey, how do I make this? And they will literally sit down and walk you through it.
Right.
For like $25 a session. It's amazing. I just did it for one of my classes because I was lost on trying to get a Unreal Engine model transferred into HoloLens, which is like a thing you can do now apparently.
Yeah. But there actually is something I want to touch base on when it comes to what I mentioned previously about like Father's Day, and especially with what happened on my end recently. I'm beginning to now feel for the kids who don't have any sort of father figure anymore. Because I understand that some people may no longer have their father figure, whether abandonments or different, either abandonment or their father passing away. I'm starting to feel for those people. I really am. I'm not gonna go into detail about like how I do that because I personally prefer not to. But then again, this is a podcast, so
I mean, you don't have to get into it if you don't want to, dude. Like that's like a personal, really personal thing for you.
Oh, I don't really give a shit. It's just like he violated my privacy several times. I'm gonna violate his. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but like again, that like my dad being a lawyer would probably say, "Don't fucking do that."
Well, the stuff that I would be disclosing is strictly more on my end of my personal experiences.
I mean, I know like you've talked to me about it in the past, and it's just been like something that you're just like, what the actual fuck? And I've been a lot of what the actual fuck. And
a lot of it, you just sit there half the time and you just go, what? Hold the phone.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And like parents that take advantage of their kids like that, that's not okay. Like I've dealt with that with students of mine. You know, I can't go into any more detail than that, but I've dealt with some bullshit parents in my time.
Right.
And you know, various jobs, tutoring, life coaching, all that shit that I do.
Right.
I've also seen it in like not when I've been instructing, but at the sword fighting studio that I used to go to that's still not open.
I mean, because COVID's still around, but you know.
Yeah, I know, but like,
you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna kind of touch base on it for people who may not know. So basically, I was put. How do I properly say this without sounding like a complete prick? Basically, what happened was
bullshit situation by your parents.
Yeah. Not only were they were very subtle about it. I will give them that. But like to the point where even I didn't notice it until it was brought to my attention. But essentially what they did was they were basically putting me in like a mental position of being completely dominated 90% of the time, especially when it came to like choosing my life decisions. Especially major ones, because 9 times out of 10, I would be bullied into not doing certain stuff. That on top of the fact in what I was talking about with the whole father stuff, my dad was the main catalyst for 90% of that stuff. And on top of the fact that a year ago, he got divorced from my mother, and then out of the fucking blue, he just comes out of the closet. Which I still have no idea how the hell that correlates. Or how that even works. And then he just stopped talking to me. The last thing I don't remember the last thing he said to me, but I think he's trying to repair our relationship. But I'm sorry, after getting abused by him mentally for 6 fucking years, I kind of don't want anything to do with him.
I don't blame you.
And it's gotten to the point where it's pissing me off so bad that he's tried to contact me multiple times. He hasn't in recent time, though. He's tried several times to use other people's phones to try to get a hold of me.
I mean, at that point, like, I just get a restraining order and be done with it, but...
I'm working on it right now.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. And I mean, the fact that, like... You've also dealt with, like, financial shit with them and, like, all sorts of other nonsense to the point where you've basically separated from your parents. You're just still living there.
Especially since they essentially forced me to they forced me to start learning things on my own and without their guidance or any sort of stuff like that. And especially, especially on my father's end, he siphoned my entire bank account twice. Everything was reduced to 0. And he said it was my rent. And he even did it when I was 16 and 17.
Which is illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
In his state, that's against the law. I went and looked that up, by the way. That is against the law. You can actually, you can sue him and get your money back, in theory.
So is that still is it still in the statutes of limitations, or?
How long ago was it?
If it was 16 to 17, it was between, I want to say 3 to 4 years ago. By now.
Okay, so like that's probably still within it. It's usually 5 to 10.
Oh, okay.
You should like actually find out. Like you should like talk to a lawyer about that. See if there's any like pro bono lawyers where you live, because like otherwise it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is. Honestly, dude, I would talk to CPS if you really wanted to take care of that, right? Like talk to them and just be like, hey, like my parents when I was a minor like siphoned my bank account. Like how do I deal with that?
Well, I was gonna do that when I was younger.
Well, no, like now you're an adult and you can like actually do something about it.
No, like back in the day, which really has fucked up my mentality completely. Was number one, I was blackmailed not to tell anyone at CPS, because he basically told me just like if you try to talk to CPS at all, you're losing your computer. We're pulling you out of school. You're losing your phone. You're losing everything.
They can't legally pull you out of school. You know that, right?
What? No, they're going to put me in a homeschool. That's what they mean.
If you're mid-year, they can't do that. That's like a national...
Well, I didn't know this.
Okay.
Because I was like 16, 17 at the time.
Then you need to tell CPS that, because that's like problematic. Like no joke, like you need to tell somebody about that. Like your therapist, somebody, whoever the fuck. I don't know if you have a therapist, but like you should get one. They're helpful as fuck. You need to get one that's like one you pick. Though, that's the thing.
Oh yeah, that actually brings me because you brought that up about the whole therapist thing. I do also want to kind of touch base on like the kind of a little bit of a reason why I don't really trust therapists.
Oh yeah. No,
Especially
that's what I mean. I don't either.
My parents.
Oh, what? Yeah, if it's one chosen by your parents, no. Like, you need to find one.
For people that may not know, the previous therapist that I went to when I was struggling with some very serious depression, and I was talking to the therapist, and because of that age, they have to see what I'm talking about. So basically what they did was they paid off the therapist, or specifically my dad. He basically paid off the therapist to make it look like something completely different than what it was.
Which, again, illegal. Super illegal. You can lose a medical license for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, I'm not, like, a huge, like, I'm not a lawyer, but, like, I do know enough about, like, legal stuff when it comes to, like, therapists and law, when it comes to education, because I just took a class on it. Like, I know enough to, like, say something about it, right? Like, I would, again, double check what I say here, but, like, I'm pretty sure, you have pretty good grounds to sue your parents if you wanted to. Which, like, I'd almost say do it, dude. You'll find some lawyer that'll be like, you have such a good case.
Is just like, I really don't have the time, especially with what I'm planning on doing in like a couple months. I don't really have the kind of time to do that right now.
Right. Yeah, I know, with like you
to spend like filing paperwork, talking to fucking lawyers, all that shit. I don't really have that kind of time right now.
Dude, just fucking disappear, man. It's easier than.
That's kind of the plan. It's just like
It's easier in this day and age than you think it is. Like,
I was about to say that's kind of the plan that I was thinking about.
Yeah,
it's just like once I move out, like especially with my dad, just cut contact.
Your dad is just pardon my language, and take this however you want, but your dad's a dickhead.
No, he absolutely is.
Any parent that steals from their kid, I mean, like, I get it. Like, I found out I was in, like, commercials when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
With none other than, hello, my name is Bob Hope. I was in a commercial with Bob Hope for Gerber baby food. No fucking joke, bro.
Yeah.
As a kid. Okay? My parents got all sorts of fucking money from that. But you know what they did with it? Which is why I'm not mad about it. They put it in an account, a long-term savings account for like 15 years, right? And they paid for my high school with it. Because I went to a very expensive private high school. So,
right.
Out here in LA.
Well, then again,
my mustache is
that
terrible.
right there is more just thinking in the long term.
Right. But, like, when I found out about it when I was older, I was like, what the fuck did you do with all the money? And they're like, we paid for your high school with it. I'm like, oh. Because, like, I was broke and in college and, like, wanted cash. So, it was a little selfish on my part. But,
well, to be fair, it's just like they never told you. And I feel like that's, like, one of the major parts about it. Is the fact that they just never told you what the reasoning was. Until you asked.
Yeah. It's my parents that they, like, don't feel they don't need to explain themselves to me sometimes. Even though they, like, really should before they do things. Because it's caused, like, all sorts of issues. Like, I had a period of time where, like, I dealt with some shit and my parents believed a doctor over me. Let's just put it that way. And the doctor had a very big incentive to lie to my parents.
Oh, yeah?
Because it meant insurance wouldn't cover it, and my parents would have to pay full price for it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And let's put it this way. They literally lied on a legal medical report that, one, got me kicked out of a hospital for no reason.
Oh, wow.
Like, when I actually needed medical care. Because, like, my parents just straight up couldn't afford it. I mean, dude, the bill was like $240,000 or some bullshit like that. It was like an obscene amount of money. I had a very severe lung infection from getting bitten by a spider. I got bitten like 7 times by a black widow when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was younger, yeah. And the hospital said I was faking it, despite the fact that, like, part of my leg was literally, like, rotting off. And refused essentially to give me, they gave me antivenom, and then the insurance refused to cover it because of the report sent by the hospital. Antivenom is obscenely expensive, especially spider.
Yeah.
Like, it's like $6,000 a shot, and they had to give me about 7 of the things. Plus, like,
Jesus
you know,
Christ.
multi overnight stay in a hospital. Like, I mean, a fucking Tylenol's $200. You know, if you look at an itemized bill for a hospital, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got pretty fucked up by spiders. I don't know. I don't even remember how it happened. I was really young. I probably kind of pushed it out of my mind because it sucked so bad.
I wouldn't blame you, honestly.
Yeah, it was fucked. And then it happened later, like, it's a kind of a funny story. So I got caught smoking weed in college once.
Right.
By my parents. And in their infinite wisdom, they were like, "You're an addict." They pulled me out of college and put me in rehab.
Wow.
Like that. Was like, and the same fucking thing happened.
That's like putting somebody on Alcoholics Anonymous for drinking one beer.
Know what? Right, exactly. Yes. And like everybody in there was like, dude, you're not an addict. What the fuck are you doing in here? Like, and I'm like, do you blame my parents? I don't know. I'm like, I literally just like slept for like, I just took it as an opportunity to sleep for like 2 weeks. Basically.
Hey,
but what happened is after that, like the rehab required that I go to a sober living for like 10 days or whatever it was. Right. And I was coming in to do my mandatory drug test every day. And I had just started doing boxing as like a way to like work out because I had fucking picked up a bunch of weight eating hospital food for 2 weeks.
Right.
I was like working out hard. Like I was doing boxing like 3 hours a day. Right. So I go in and I test positive for weed. But I've also lost like 8 pounds. Weed's fat soluble.
Yeah.
Sits in your gut. Right.
It sits in there for a fucking while.
Right. And it was like, I tested like super minor, right? Like very, like not enough to.
Like minuscule amount.
Yeah. Yeah. And, that rehab kicked me out and then charged my parents full price for it. Because fuck rehab. Like, you want to know why I hate, like, I don't believe in that whole 12-step program shit. I think that's like a cult. Like, those people that are in there are weird. Like, it doesn't make sense to me to have that level of involvement with other people. I don't know, call me antisocial, I guess, but yeah, it led to a whole bunch of bullshit where I was like, living on friends' couches for like 3 years, and it's when I was like living in Hollywood and shit.
Because you weren't even able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I did. Dude, it wasn't my fault. I didn't fucking do anything wrong. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then that like, there's also like a whole problem of that, like, sober living, keeping a whole bunch of my stuff against my will, and like, yeah, they like, I got in like a fist fight with the owner. It was kind of a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
He like accused me of stealing shit from there, and I'm like, it's not me. I'm not, like, literally, dude. You see me? I'm here all day. I was testing Warframe at the time.
Right.
I was beta testing. I was literally playing Warframe from fucking sunup to sundown every day for like 12 hours a day.
Right.
Right? Like, that was what I did for a job and got paid for it and paid for that place myself. Like, it was bullshit. And I did it where my fucking computer was under, we had security cameras in the house, right? Because there's a bunch of addicts, right? And then me. Yeah. Go figure. And I put my computer there so I could make sure no one would fucking get on my computer.
Right.
Because I had to have it in a public place. I couldn't have it. And then eventually I talked the guy into letting me have it in my, like, room area. Right? I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Get high on my computer? And he's like, yeah, you got a point. And I'm like, dude, I'll put it next door. I'll put it next door to the house manager's room. How about that? Like, let me move rooms because that one's open right now. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll work. Blah, blah, blah. So I did that. And then out of nowhere, one morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning, this dude busts into my room. He says, pack all your shit. You're fucking out of my house. Get your shit and get out. I'm like,
what the fuck?
He like wakes me up from a dead sleep. He's like, you got half an hour. Get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, dude, I just heard from the hospital you tested positive on every single drug test that you took. I'm like, no, I didn't. The fuck? They're lying to you. No, I didn't. Like, I have I literally had the paper results in a folder in my place, and he's like, these are fake. That's why you wanted your computer here. Blah, blah, blah. The guy was nuts, dude. Fucking.
Jesus
so, yeah.
Christ.
Whatever you do, don't go to rehab and don't deal with sober livings. Those people are fucking paranoid idiots. So.
They're about as bad as those fucking Facebook bombs that use essential oils all the time.
Yeah, this is the guy that uses an essential oil cologne. But, I mean,
well, cologne is one thing. I'm saying like using it as opposed to medicine. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, no. Those people
like
are
those
stupid.
freakazoids.
The only essential oil I know that works as medicine is menthol oil. Because, like, when I had COVID, that's what I did. I breathed a menthol inhaler for 2 weeks. He'll vouch. Probably has it on stream somewhere where I sound like a dead person. I literally sound like corpse with a cold.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's bad.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But yeah, on to a more entertaining topic. Yeah? Let's get off this depressing bullshit.
Idea.
God.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that too.
Yeah, so because I only got about half an hour left before I got to go deal with parentals for a few.
Yeah, and I was
speaking of Father's Day. So, we've both been doing Airsoft a lot recently.
I wouldn't say for myself a lot, more like I'm just getting into it.
Well, me doing it a lot, but it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better than fucking paintball.
It's more fun than paintball. You know why I think it's more fun than paintball?
You're wearing, you can fucking breathe.
You know why it's also more fun than paintball?
Why?
I can only carry like 500 rounds when I play paintball. I can carry fucking thousands
when you do
thousands of rounds doing Airsoft. I mean, just my shotgun alone's got 300 rounds. Right? Like, so, still look at some of the gear we got. We both have one of these. For Twitch's purposes, these are unloaded, on-safe.
Airsoft. These things are on-safe.
Airsoft. Good. Orange tips. A couple of mine don't have orange tips, Twitch, and YouTube, so don't yell at us, okay? Don't yell at us. This is for Airsoft purposes only. These are not real firearms.
These are not real.
Okay?
These are strictly for Airsoft purposes, nothing else.
And I can prove they're not real. You can look inside. There is no bolt carrier. It is
I'm doing this
little
the only thing that,
little spinny boy for an air piston. That's it.
And if you look inside my breech, there's no way that a full size 5.56 can fit in there.
Technically 223, but yes, because civilian version. But yeah,
maybe for you.
So.
Maybe for you.
I'm sorry. I live in California. We don't get toys like the rest of the world. So I have just, basic M4 variant with a can on it with a little flashlight and red dot sight because I just need something to play with. But this gun is really heavy.
Yeah, because
just
you said
for no reason. Yes, but for no reason it's heavy. Like, they just added so much weight. Like, they didn't need to put a full metal freaking railguard on there. I don't need that. The fuck am I gonna do with a full metal railguard?
Right.
It's not like I'm gonna beat someone's head in with it. But we've recently both had a similar experience. Oh, you can also, if you look at my magwell, there's no feed ramp. It's just a little hole.
Yep.
So, totally fake. But we've both had fun experiences recently with dumbass little kids with HPAs.
Yep.
So, I'll show you mine, because mine's a little more entertaining than Patriot's, I think.
Yeah.
Patriot just got...
No, I have an experience that I have yet to tell you.
Oh, well, I mean, Patriot got shot in the leg. But if you look... Right so this is my old... This is my back plate, all right? This is supposed to be hard polycarb armor, okay? Correct. Hard polycarb armor doesn't do this, right?
It should not ever bend like that.
If you listen, you can hear it. If you listen real carefully, you can hear it cracking, okay? What polycarb armor should look like is this.
It's hard and it should not ever move like
that. I'm putting all my effort into it, and that's as far as I can flex it, okay? So,
yeah.
Should not do what my backplate does. I had a like 12-year-old kid with an HPA gun that has a variable valve on it. And he cranked that thing up as high as it would go and lit me up straight across the back. Now, the interesting thing is, I wasn't the fucking person that shot him. He just did it to me because I look like the person that shot him. Because there's a couple of us that have the same helmet. Right? And I turned around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, kid? Why are you fucking shooting me full auto? Fucking no full auto indoors, dude. And he's like, you fucking shot me in the head. I'm like, I didn't shoot you. That dude
that's
did.
That's the fucking game, dipshit.
I'm like, that's the fucking game anyway, dumbass. He's like, you shot me like 2 feet away in the head. I'm like, he probably blind shotted you, which is legal here. So shut up and keep playing. You know, I was just like, I'm like trying to fucking play. I didn't want to deal with some dumbass kid, right?
Right.
And then he does it again. Lights me up again, right? And he says, fuck you, you dying. Starts turning into COD Kid. Let's just put it that way.
Just turns into a fucking COD lobby. It gets bad.
It gets worse than that. So, and I start screaming for a ref, right? Who comes running over. And then, so I started shooting back at him, right? Trying to get him away from me at that point. Because now I'm having to defend myself. Right? So I pulled this boy. Pulled this out and defended myself. Because I couldn't, at that range, like, I couldn't, he was, like, literally in my face. Like, I was, like, at my back, right? And I dropped my rifle, which was now slung on my back. I wasn't about to reach back there and try and get it with my hands.
Yeah.
Right? So my pistol sits, like, here. Because I stick it in the top of my body armor. Right. Like, underneath my shoulder. Like, in the straps. I just, like, slide a pistol in here because I've got another one on my waist. Yeah. So I pulled this one out. And I started going like this, right? Like firing under my arm.
Yeah.
As fast as I could. And if you look at this is a double stack.
Yep. So I can hold a lot of
So
rounds.
I got 50 rounds point blank with red gas. And I started shooting back and screaming for a ref. And the kid is still full. He's got like a 1,200 round beta mag in his shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going at it. And it's sound fed, so when it clicks, it autofills. Right. So he's got no gap between firing.
Mm-hmm.
And on HPA, like, you're talking 1,000 rounds a minute, somewhere around there.
Something
and
like
he
that.
lit me up for a good 20 seconds, probably. Something like that. Now, granted, I'm also wearing a huge black, like, pea coat. Like, you know the Levi's, like the big Levi's black jackets that have the camo on the inside? Yeah, the big black ones with the hood.
Yeah.
It's one of those. That's what I wear as my over jacket so I don't get shot in the... I just don't want to get all fucking covered in BB marks. That's my big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because, like, I have to go in and teach a class online at some point, right? And, like, I don't want to be covered in little red welts all over the fucking place looking like I got chicken pox or some shit. You know. It's a professionalism thing.
You know, walking into class with chicken pox. Hey, kids, how's it going?
You know, one of those. So, the ref comes running over, and by this point, I've turned around. The kid's like, ah, and puts his gun up, right? By this point, I had turned around and gotten control of the kid's gun and was, like, holding it above his head. And he's literally, at this point, punching me. Right? That's where a lot of that damage on my backplate probably came from. He's like, he's got like, you know, and he's got like Oakley gloves on with the fucking carbon fiber shit going on. Yeah. So I'm real glad I got that fucking big ass backplate on. Yeah. Let's just put it that way.
Because that would hurt.
By that point, Big Bubba Fudd, who I'm going to call him from now on, all right? Big Bubba Fudd comes running over, right? Big Bubba Fudd is having none of Child Boy's shit. And proceeds to grab him by the carry handle, pick this kid up, and drag him off me. Right? At this point, little kid turns around. Yeah, little carry handle on the back of his vest just horks him off of me, right?
No, here's what I'm thinking right now. I have a suitcase. Where's security?
Right, pretty much.
Just picks him up like a fucking
At this point, 12-year-old turns around and starts punching Bubba Fudd, right? At this point, Bubba Fudd's fed up with this shit and butt strokes him with his shotgun, putting the kid on the floor. I mean, just fucking...
Do you want to bring up
he's just like, fuck you, kid!
What he does?
Bah! No, we're saving that for the end of this story. Okay? Because it's even better. Okay? So this story just gets absolutely out of control. Alright? I'm not going to say where this was for the company's protection. Mm-hmm. If you go watch my live streams, you can probably find it. But you got to go watch through like 14 hours of live streams. Good luck!
Don't worry, some people are in quarantine. They got that time.
Yeah, I know, man. So, at this point, the kid's on the ground, at which point, one guy grabs his gun and gets it off the HPA, the pigtail, right?
Unclips the belt, yeah.
No, because it's got a little, like the little pressure valve, the little snappy valve that's on a paintball gun. It's like that. It just snaps into the bottom of the handguard.
Oh, okay,
or like the hand grip, right, with the little tube, like, the little HPA, high pressure air, little nipple.
Are you referring
right? And
to this little thing?
Is yours HPA?
Supported.
You have it. How the fuck did you get an HPA supported gun for like $160?
I have no idea. That's a Tipman, so it's possible they may have added that.
I wonder if that's one of the ones that supports 50 cal barrels.
Maybe?
For paintball. I wonder. You might have a cool gun there for pretty cheap, and if you have that, fucking go buy me one. I'll Venmo you money. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. If that's HPA supported, fucking, I will literally Venmo you money tomorrow to send me one. Because that's bitching if it is, because I can go take that to Evic and put all metal shit all around that.
Right.
Because... yeah, I'm one of those idiots. So, this kid gets dragged out to the front lobby, right, where, like, everybody's yelling at him and, like, all this shit. The mom is sitting in the front lobby, starts screaming, right, and starts pushing people around, right, blah, 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 proceeds to hit the ref and starts screaming for her husband. Then Thug Nasty, the husband, comes in, all right? He's like your stereotypical vape niche bro. Okay? Yeah. We're talking wife beater, sunglasses around the back of his head, shaved head, tattoos everywhere. Alright? Looks down, who's fucking with my kid? And immediately punches the nearest, 13-year-old square in the face.
He basically Sunday punched his ass.
Oh, no. Straight fucking sucker punch to basically the back of the head. Right? This kid, who also has an HPA gun, turns around and says, fuck you, old man, and lights the dad up. And when I say point blank, I mean this dad is in his face trying to punch him.
Right.
Okay? This dad is wearing no armor. That gun was cranked to fucking dude, he dumped a tank in half a mag. Let's just put it that way. In half a mag, his tank went dry. So, I don't know if he had a full tank or not. But still, he dumped him. So the dad's now bleeding from his chest where he's just been shot a whole bunch. Because it's essentially, at close range, it's like getting hit with, birdshot. It's no fun. It's really no fun. Especially if you have no protective equipment on. So always wear your iPro and chest protectors, guys, especially if you're airsofting, because you never know what somebody's got under the hood on those. That's why airsofting is a little more sketchy than paintball, because paintball, guns are generally built to a standard. You can't really fuck with it too much. Airsoft guns, those things are Lego sets, man. Okay, so next thing that happens is about 6 dudes pile in on the dad, and he's taken to the floor, right? The dad pushes all these guys off, gets up, and starts fighting with Bubba Fudd. Okay? Now, what people didn't know is that the other guy that got full autoed by the kid was a cop who had left his gun behind the counter. Right? Because he can't carry his firearm in on the field. Right? So they have a gun locker back there, and they put it in there for him. Right? Because they deal with a lot of law enforcement there. Mm-hmm. Bubba Fudd is also a law enforcement officer, but he works for the feds. He's an actual federal officer. He got the gun out of the safe by this point. The dad comes up to him and is like threatening him. Bubba Fudd put that gun square to that dude's forehead and said, if you fucking touch me, I'm going to blow your head off in front of your kid. Let's just put it that way. The situation...
knowing his probable attitude, he was not joking.
Listen. Bubba Fudd, from what I've heard from other people that play there, I don't play at this field very much. But from what I heard from other people at that field, Bubba Fudd has zero chill when it comes to fuckhead adults. He likes going there to unwind after a long day at work. And he doesn't want to deal with bullshit. He just wants to shoot at people. That's all he wants to do. Okay?
That sounds really bad, because isn't that what you said?
I know it sounds real bad. I know it sounds real bad. All right? But listen, I get it. I'm a teacher. I do it for the same reason. Okay? It's a really good stress reliever, and it's an amazing workout.
Oh yeah.
Okay? It's like, I know like people say like, oh, shooting isn't a stress reliever. It's a fucking stress reliever.
It's like punching a
just to
bag.
You put your brain under that much mental stress and get that big an adrenaline dump, it's like getting high. Mm-hmm. It's no joke, dude. I mean, it's nothing like real combat, I'm sure. Like, all you vets out there, fucking comment below. You know.
Just that one veteran, just like, Airsoft is nothing like real combat. You have no idea what you're talking about, you zoomer.
I know it's not, okay? I know it's not. I have plenty of friends that were in real combat and, like, cannot deal with shit like fireworks or Airsoft, for that matter. Like, I get it. I know it's combat light for the rest of us that don't really want to get shot.
We don't want to actually get shot by like a 5.56.
Yeah, so suffice to say, the police showed up. Everybody got arrested. The father got arrested for assault on a minor. The mom got arrested for multiple counts of assault, and the kid got arrested for possession of an illegal weapon and assault. Felony assault. He got a felony. The kid got a felony. Last I heard.
How old is he? 13?
12.
Oof.
Yeah. So, for all you kids out there with HPAs, don't fuck with adults because we'll put you in the ground. We're out there to have fun too, you know. That doesn't mean you get to full auto us just because you have a better gun. Also, parents, don't buy your child a $1,500 airsoft gun. The fuck? Spend it on a PlayStation or a computer or something useful. Jesus.
Here's one thing I will have to say easily about that story. It's this shit that makes me want to get a vasectomy.
Dude, right? Sometimes, I swear, if I wasn't an Irish Catholic and basically required to have children, you know,
I would get a vasectomy so fucking fast.
So fast, man. I have a couple kids. I'm going under the knife in like a fucking second, man. Screw it. I'll take the chemical one. Fuck. I'll take the 20 days of pain. Shit.
Just take a knife to your ball sack and call it a day.
Shit, man. Fucking get me the cow cruncher. You know what I mean? Because you being a country boy know exactly what I'm talking about, too. That's the funny thing.
I wouldn't say I'm a country boy. I just went to an agricultural high school, but I still know what you're talking about. Just a gigantic,
you know what I'm talking
really tight-ass cock ring. Minus
the cow,
cock, but just the
No.
balls.
The cow cruncher is the thing that looks like the thing that pops out of Jabba's palace. It's like the little ball with the teeth on it, and they put it around the bull, and it goes really quickly. And it's on a stick, so you don't have to get near the bull.
All the men listening to this right now just had their balls shrivel.
All of the guys were just like, oh, shit, man.
I'd like to keep my children, please.
Dude, the one for horses is worse. It's a big pair of fucking scissors. And they just swing.
Those ain't safety scissors, my guy.
No, sir. Those are razor scissors. Last time I checked. But yeah, you had a similar experience too recently. Like, No, you had a similar experience too with some asshole kid, right?
Well, it wasn't necessarily an asshole kid. It was a kid with an accidental discharge.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
His weapon was at full light automatic. He was pointing down, and then...
Oh, and it went...
And apparently because someone scared of her behind, he turned around, and as he was doing it, he held the trigger while it was at full auto. Kind of fucked up my leg.
I mean, yeah, dude, that sucks. And he was wearing, like, good BDUs, like...
I was wearing a BDU suit.
I mean...
Oh yeah,
I don't wear a BDU suit.
The other part that I have yet to tell you, because in my opinion this is just funny, despite how much it hurt. But I was playing on one of the maps inside of that place where it's like a bunch of buildings that are like all run down with a barn right next to it and a couple trenches, because this was an outdoor field.
Right.
So I come around the corner of a barn. I didn't know the trench was there. And I walked right into the trench. Without warning, it dropped about 4 feet.
I've done that before. I've definitely done that before.
No,
I remember.
The funniest part about all of that, all my friends just heard.
Oh!
The ref even heard that, but he didn't do anything because he was a veteran that collects like World War II stuff, and he kind of didn't care. And he also noticed that like within like 10 seconds, I got up and just shook it off.
And you're just like, ow!
I have like a pretty major bruise on my fucking thigh from it.
Oh man, I wish we'd done this a couple days ago. You could have seen my bike accident bruise on my ribs. It's not really there. It's not really there anymore. It's a little red, but like I ate shit and I took a curb to the ribs, like straight down the side of the ribs. So it was like I thought I broke ribs, dude. Like you notice how I've been just kind of in a bad mood the last like 4 days.
Yeah, it's because you thought you broke your ribs.
Yeah, that and I'm just tired at the end of my first set of classes. Yeah. I just did finals this week, dude. No, I'm beat.
Here's the worst part about those trenches, though. You know what the worst part about that was?
Are they wet at the bottom?
That and there's like 2x4s on the top of the trench.
Oh!
So I went through the 2x4s, basically got crucified, and then fucking and then fucking hit the ground.
Dude, my one was.
I was like, I'm good.
My one was.
That much adrenaline running through my system at the time where I didn't even feel it.
You're like, I'm okay, we're good. And then, 3 hours later, your hip is just like, fuck you.
No, I've dealt with worse. That's the thing. That's how I'm still able to walk. Like, I've dealt with so much worse.
I mean, I think my worst eat shit moment, paintballing. It was paintballing. It wasn't airsofting. I was at Hollywood Sports Park, and they have a map there called Mad Max. Oh. And they have like a burnt out bus in the middle of it. Yeah. Right? Which, interestingly, now they call it the Battle Bus, and they've painted it up like the Fortnite Battle Bus. But it's just like a burnt out... but it's just like a burnt out hulk of a battle bus in the middle of the field, which I think is hilarious. But I went to go through one of the windows on the bus... Right, like to crawl into it from one side, and my vest got stuck, and I got Winnie the Pooh in the fucking bus window. Like, dude, I had to take my vest off, pull the vest free, and put my vest back on, because I was that stuck. Luckily, my vest has the shoulder tabs, so I can unhook the shoulders from it, and I unhooked the side tabs and crawled out of it. I was getting shot at so much. I'm so lucky that one of my buddies had a Mark 48 and was just sitting there in the window just... No,
do you know what?
He's like, get yourself free! I'm running low on BBs! Go!
What I personally would have said as if I was in that situation, I'd be like, I'm too fat!
Duh, dude, I was a fat fuck at the time, too. Like, this was with my Marine buddies from Hollywood. Yeah, this was...
I'm too fat!
This is when they decided I was going to get in shape, because I made it through about 3 games of about 13 that they played for a day, so...
Yeah.
Dude, Dude, these guys played sun up to sundown, and when sundown happened, they pulled out real nods and put them shits on. Like, suffice to say, don't ask them where they came from. But, some benefits of being special forces, I guess. Apparently gear goes missing all the time.
Yeah, it just goes missing. It's like the Russian bombs.
It's like, we have bombs! We have many bombs!
We don't know where they are. But we have them.
Drunk Russians fucking... Ugh. Yeah, so, that being said, Airsoft.
Fun.
Good shit. Also, so, content updates for this week. For me, we're doing Sea of Thieves on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Because Puritz and original voice cast, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, did you hear? That has to be Johnny Depp doing the voice. It has to be.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. So...
You haven't watched the trailer?
No.
Dude, go watch the trailer. The trailer. Dude, we have such a big fuck show of an enemy to deal with.
Ooh, content.
David Jones is coming, boys! Run! Oh, and Davy Jones has a really bullshit ability.
What's that?
If you don't break that fucking capstan, you know what Davy Jones capstan does, right?
What's that?
It does the thumpy thud.
Oh.
Do you know what the thumpy thud does?
What does it do?
Dun dun dun! Kraken. He has a Kraken summon button.
That's so
fuck.
Dumb.
So you have to not only fight him, that's in a, by the way, a new ship type that is a war galleon.
Oh.
So, 2 decks of cannons. And it's fully crewed. But he can also summon a Kraken. Also, apparently he's pretty easy to fight, because if you're in a sloop, you just get behind him and blow the back ass off his ship. But, stop shooting holes in my ship! And apparently we can get a theme that's the Black Pearl layout for our ships and stuff. So, yeah. But with that, I unfortunately have a appointment I have to get to. So, we're going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Mr. Teacher Guy. I am out. I don't know if Patriot has anything more to say, but if he does, I will let him do that. But I am going to take off right now. Deuces, everybody! Right.
So with that being said, that's the end of episode 2 of the Phalynx Podcast. And if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to share it with your friends. And so consider checking out our channels and the link down in the description. Other than that, this is the Dead Patriot for the Phalynx Podcast. Have a good rest of your day/night. And don't forget to lose some brain cells.